Hi, I'm Jamie Titus, and this is an overview of my professional e-portfolio. One thing that I noticed about the portfolio that I didn't realize that I had a leadership philosophy, but as I began to work on it, I realized that this was probably one of the better things that I had done. I hadn't really thought about it before, but as it started to come out, I realized that I had been around a lot of good leaders in the past. And I took things from them, like being responsive to questions, just things that I was already doing anyway that actually were a leadership philosophy, just not written as such. So one of the things that I actually was the proudest of was my leadership philosophy. Okay. My resume, I think this also turned out really well. When I have not had to apply for a job ever, and therefore I have never really had I've had to update my CV for work, but I've never actually done a resume as such. And as I went through this, I realized that there was some time in between things that I had done in the past, and that just made me more prepared for the next step. Starting off with the associates to the bachelor's to the master's. It was a logical progression, even though the fields don't necessarily seem related. They are, and each one has helped me get to where I am right now, and hopefully this last step of getting my master's of instructional technology will be the step that I'm using to the twilight of my career, I guess, would be what I'm thinking. So as we did this project, it was very overwhelming at first. But as I got in, I had never used Google Sites before, and as I got in and started doing things, I realized that this was actually going to help me bring everything I've done together and showcase it, which, that's the purpose, but it was overwhelming at first. So as I went through and I did some things that I think will help my peers, even though I wasn't necessarily able to present them as such, they're ready to go. So anytime I'm ready, I have this, and I'm perfectly ready to give these in a face-to-face environment, which is another plus, I believe, because having everything all compact together nicely, that's going to be great. The peer reviews are one thing that I would be lost without them, especially this summer semester was so quick. Having that group, our group of 4, to be able to bounce ideas off of, clarify questions, look at examples. Hopefully we were able to help each other by example, and that has been invaluable to me. But I did enjoy putting together my activity evidence as they go, my training, and then my presentations, and then my some things that I thought about in for article reviews were things that I actually deal with, and I was also happy that I was able to find articles that dealt with things that actually are important to me, like this one, for example, the who succeeds in the online STEM classroom. Whenever you look at ethnicity, gender, and the non-traditional student, that's my bread and butter right there. And this was really good for me to have this, to make me call this up and look at it. As I pulled together my extra resources, this kind of showed me that I had been doing everything I did in this program had a purpose. I was able to use it for either my own betterment or for my students. Just even as much as this little Androidify avatar. It's an icebreaker, and that the students, they enjoy to see that you're not 100% serious all the time, and it was great. But I've used everything. Even in the ethics and politics, that was a hard project as well. And I enjoyed it because it made me think differently about how I would handle things. As I got to, the evaluation part and the peer reviews, it was very wonderful to see that people are appreciative of what I had done and what I had put together, and it's always great to have a second, third, and fourth even set of eyes. So those are some of the things that I am the most proud of about this portfolio.